And that's how it ended. Now imagine what the place was after that. That's how the story is. Now we go back to the one of the previous stories. No, there might be a I just gave you an example of a case of relocation. Unbelievable what it's saying. So this is what you said. We're on the topic of the series of miracles of the Shahanavi. Last week we recalled stories of the victory of Jews against the Arab nations. Now, during the time of the Eliyahu Hanavi, King Aharon, the evil king, had a wife named Arizal, and she tried to kill the good prophets. There was one prophet who was speaking of Eliyahu, his name was Obadiah Navi. And this Obadiah Navi was so good, so pure, that he took a few hundred youths, he kept them hidden in a cave, unknown to the king, his wife, and he supplied them with food. And he was risking his life, and he did it. So, later on, he passed away, he was dying, and his wife was in very serious financial straits. She came to Elisha Navi, and she started to cry to him, and she said, my husband passed away, and you know that he was real, true, loyal tzadik. Now, because of my debts, the creditor, what debts was it? Because he borrowed money in order to provide for these prophets of Egypt. These debts had risen to a high degree, but the creditor came and wants to take my two sons, my two children as slaves. I haven't got money, take my children instead. What can I do? How can I pay it back? So Elisha Navi said to her, what can I do for you? Tell me, what do you have here in the house? Well, she needed a lot of money. He said, what can I do for you? You want a blessing, right? What do you have in the house? So she said, all I have is just one little can of oil. That's all. It's worth a few cents. I have debts that amount to mountains of dollars. I said, well, listen to me. Go out and borrow empty pots. Organize this. Whatever you can find empty pots, get. They worth a lot more than one. Borrow as much as you could, don't skip on it. As much as you can pile up in this house, different pots. She did it. And then he said, now lock the door. Stop, take this little can of oil, stop pouring into these pots. Started taking the oil, started pouring. The pot filled up, kept on pouring, next pot, next, filled up every single pot. It was still going. She said, wait, one more pot. I said, not anymore. Suddenly we all stopped. He said to her, that's it. Now, take all this oil, sell it, and the money that you get for it, pay off the debts, the balance, live a long time. This is the case of another miracle of Elisha Navi. The Iranians find very little said about this. But the Zohar Kadosh, a very important word is mentioned here. Striking remark. Notice that Elisha Navi was asked for a miracle. He was asked for a blessing. He didn't say to her, I bless you that you should have a lot of money. He asked her, what do you have in the house? And she said, a little bit of oil, and he said, oh, if you have a little drop of oil, that's good. Because, in general, a blessing cannot take hold, cannot rest on zero. You have to have something. You have a few cents, good. I'll give you a blessing, you should make a lot of money for that. Invest it and become rich. Or you have a little merchandise, you have to sell it for the profit. But if you have nothing, you can't give a blessing for nothing. There must be something for the blessing to take hold of it. That's why this good of oil is important. That's why the person should always see that he has something in him. He has something, he can solely pray to get the blessing and take hold on that little bit that he has. But even the Mishnah, he was required to have a little drop to this blessing to take hold of. Now the next case was where the Mishnah that we traveled through came to the home of a great woman, very important woman. And she took hold and begged to come to my house and eat in my home. Also, she wanted to have her stay at her house. Then she said to her husband, I know that he is Yishulim, a heavenly person. And let's do something to honor him. Let's make a mikveh, a bed for him, a shulchan, a table, say a chair, and whatever, there can. So that when he comes, he'll have this is the basic requirements he needs. And the Arizal says, notice these words, mikveh, shulchan, say, there. The first letters of those four words are mikveh, shulchan, say, there. That being hospitable to a tzadik is like creating a bit of mikdash. Mishkan is a mikdash. How important it is that just like you build a bit of mikdash, Mishkan for the Shekhinah for Hashem, you set aside a room and a necessity there for the tzadik, it is you have the Shekhinah in your home. Your home becomes a bit of mikdash, Mishkan. So he stayed there, and then time passed by, and he felt he owes her a debt. He wants to show his gratitude. He had a student, servant student, his name was Gehazi. Called the Gehazi, he said to him, go forward for the corner. She stood in front there waiting. And Gehazi said to her, you have tried so hard to do things for me. I want to repay you. Tell me, what can I do for you? Can I speak to the king on your behalf? What does that mean? That you have taxes lowered. David does speak to the king. He had respect to his enemy. So she answered, not necessary. I live among my own people. It's not necessary. So, the question was, what could he do? Before we come to that question, again, the Zohar Kadosh says, something very, very deep. What was this question that the Mishnah asked her? What was her answer? He asked, can I speak to the king for you? And she said, no, I live among my people. How did that answer the question? I live among my people, therefore, I don't need the king's help. The Zohar Kadosh says what the duty meant here was, speak to the king means that I sell to Hashem to you. You want my tefillah? Because after all, tefillah of tzadik is much better than tefillah of a regular person, especially a woman. And she answered, it's not necessary. I don't do your tefillah. I only get prayer because I am among my people. What does among my people mean? I never sully myself. I sully with the vignette. And the power of a vignette is so great that you can have 10 people in a vignette who are not so good at all. Their tefillah is more powerful than one single person, one without a vignette, even though he's much greater than the 10 combined, but he's only one. The difference between a person selling yachid and a person selling with a vignette. difference is, the Gemara says, it's in the Gemara, that the prayer of the Binyan, Tzibur, is never rejected in heaven. It is so powerful that heaven is automatically accepted. That's the law of Tefillah, of Islam, that you have in the Binyan. A person selling alone, no matter how good he is, when the Tefillah comes up to heaven, so in heaven, the heavenly court says, here comes a lonely individual slot. Now, it's coming by itself. Who is this person that thinks he is? He's so big and so important, he's selling by himself? Let's investigate. Let's examine this tefillah very carefully to see how good it is, how much kavanah there is, and what it is selling. As a result, if in heaven they start examining it, taking it apart, they're going to find a lot of flaws in it, a lot of things wrong. Like if you mark a test paper very carefully, look for mistakes, you'll find it if you try hard enough. So, naturally, as good as the tefillah is, so expel it. But the Gemara says, when the tefillah of the tzibur, of the Binyan comes up to heaven together, then they say, well, all group together, no necessity to examine it. Just pass it right through. Imagine a person alone who sullies, and he knows that his tefillah is not good. He knows within his own heart that he's not good. He's really bad, he's sinful, and so on. He's sullied by himself, he could never get his tefillah to pass. So he goes into Kiruv, together with Binyan, he sullies together with them. Now, up comes this group of tefillot with the Binyan, as a group. And what do they say in heaven? Don't examine it, just let it go through. He sneaked in his prayer there at the end of the term. His prayer was bad, without kavanah, nothing. He didn't study properly at all. And together with that group, he smuggled himself through, and he goes right through, better than the best tefillah which comes by itself. That's the problem. Well, she said, do you want to study Hashem for me? I don't need that tefillah. I study only with the Binyan. This was a woman speaking. A woman who was so religious, such a tzaddik. So he went, because she went to Kiruv, eventually. She prayed at the time of Binyan, prayed together with them. So her prayer, all prayers were used at the time. Up. Not good or exposed. Of course, she later goes into that too. Tries to put out the person doesn't listen to conduct herself right. Rejected. This was the attempt he made to help her, and she turned it down. So I know you have big tzadik and everything, but you just can't. I don't need your help. Thank you. Then he asked, later she left, and he asked Gehazi, what can we do for her? What could I do? I must repay her because she deserves repayment. Yechazi said, she has no son. That's the worst thing for the woman. The woman who's childless suffers these things of desire, anticipation, no child. And her husband is old, so she hasn't even got hopes of having a child. She's heartbroken about it. This is where America could be. And he said to Gehazi, call her back again. Called her, stood at the door, waited, and he said to her, next year at this same time, you're going to hug a son. That's the way you're going to hug a son. She said to him, I beg you, my master, don't make fun of me. Don't tell me that which is not true. And she left him. I would refer to the son exactly a year from that day as he said. Paid as a date, and that's the day that she gave back. And the Zohar says, when we use the word posek, I'm going to hug the child. Thus, this will not be an ordinary child. This child is going to become one of the greatest prophets in the history of the Jews. Book of prophets of Nabi. We have a name called Habakkuk. Habakkuk. This Habakkuk Hanavi was born through the blessing of Yerushalmi. Habakkuk means double hugging. You hug twice. He told her, you're going to hug yourself. And notice how it has a property to foresaw everything. Use that term, he is called Habakkuk. You see, this child grew up, and one day he went out with his father to the field where the workers were, and he said to his father, I have a terrible pain in my head. So the father was busy with it. He told one of the workers, carry this child to his mother. Carried the child to his mother, and the mother held him. She was in the morning, she held on until the afternoon, and he died in her arms. Took this child, that child, brought it up, and laid the child on the bed of Yerushalmi. Then she locked the door, she walked out. She called her husband, and she said to him, bring me one of the mules. I must go quickly to see Yerushalmi, and I'll return. The husband said, why are you going? Today is neither Rosh Chodesh nor Yom Tov. Neither one of the two. Why are you going to see him? And here, we recall the shiur we had where we learned the law. We read it says the law, that it is a mitzvah. To visit one's, he was a rabbi, visit one's rabbi on Yom Tov, and the Chodesh is sort of optional. The Chodesh is a weekday work. There's something else to work. So it's a chiyuv. Women were blessed with a special holiday. The Chodesh is called a women's holiday. They cannot sew, they cannot do regular labor on that day. Hashem gave them this holiday as a gift. The time of the making a golden calf was the Jews to join in this act. Their emunah was so strong. Women are very simple minded. But their simple mindedness accepted in heaven better, the Gemara says, than the wisest men not, because simplicity is what counts, sincerity. Hashem is not impressed by wisdom. Solomon the wise says, the no thing is chachma, wisdom before Hashem. You can't impress Hashem with wisdom. What Hashem wants is sincerity. Remember that it says the name of Hashem is spelled in 4 different ways. The unity of the 4 ways is Lamed Bet 232. The name of Bet, we already understand for Rahmanah, One name of Hashem, right? What is the avodah, the service to Hashem in every facet? The heart. Hashem wants the person's heart, direct from the heart. Don't show any wise tricks and wise acts of wisdom, direct from the heart. And in the heart there's a seat of Buddha. Buddha is felt in the heart. This, therefore, women would have that simple feeling of Buddha in their heart. They did not bow whatsoever to the demands of the evil ones that made the golden calf. They stood outside this, and we don't know anything. We believe in Hashem, us, nothing else. After it happened, Hashem said, the women were so pure, therefore I shall give a little holiday. Chodesh is a holiday, not command. It is a holiday. This is the visit was done on a holiday. Therefore, he went every Chodesh to visit Yerushalmi. But this was neither the Chodesh nor holiday. The husband asked him, why are you going to visit him now? Neither one of the two. So she answered, Shalom, and in other words, it's not necessary to answer you. I have a reason. I don't want to tell you. Then she took this view and she went encouraged. She came to Yerushalmi. He was up on Kano, Arakano. The enemy had done the miracle with the ultimate Kano.
You didn't make it vehicle. You had it one time before.
Anyway, she went to my family yesterday, and he saw her coming from a distance. So he said to his servant Gehazi, that woman is coming. Go run to her and ask her, is everything okay? Are you alright? Is your husband alright? And is your child alright? Gehazi ran, and he asked her, are you alright? Husband alright? Shalom for you, shalom, you have a shalom, your child? And she said, shalom. That could be the answer to one question, to two, or three. In other words, she wasn't lying. She said, shalom. In other words, two, I have no business with you. Shalom, you want to speak to your student, but you can't serve my purpose. And she came directly forward to Yerushalmi. She bent down, she fell down to speak, to call his feet. The Aharon was to push her away, because he said to her, leave her alone. You see that she's very bitter about something, and somehow, as a prophet, I see everything, and here I should have kept to me what happened. I don't know why I can't see what happened. Let her tell me what's wrong. She said to Yerushalmi, did I ask you for a son? Did I ask you for a son? Didn't I tell you, don't make fun of me? That was enough. He understood it right. Then, he said to Gehazi, hurry quickly, take my stick, and run. Don't stop to talk to anyone. Because this miracle is about to be performed. And in order for miracle to take effect, you're not supposed to publicize it in advance. You must be kept a secret. Don't tell anyone that you're going down. The miracle together they do. Bring back that person to life. Ran and placed the stick on the child. He ran, placed the stick on the child, came back, and said, the child was dead. He died. So eventually he did the house. The child was dead. Closed the door, silently, and started to sell the child. Then when he finished selling, he went back to the child, he lay on the child, covered the child with his body, his mouth, and the child's mouth like artificial respiration, resuscitation. And he breathed into the child. He waited until the body heat was transferred to the child. Then he got up and walked up and back in the house, walking up and back. And then, again, he went over to the child and breathed on him. And the child released the second time. And he opened his eyes. Then Yerushalmi said to him, he laid on the child, tell the child, I say, he didn't. Gehazi came and he told him, don't call the woman. He called her, and Yerushalmi said to her, yeah, make me some. Talking about thanks, crying the face. And she took her son and she laughed. So again, the Gemara says that this child was Habakkuk Hanavi. Habakkuk Hanavi, Habakkuk is doubled twice. He predicted this in advance. She would hug him once, he would hug him a second time. And this would bring about his happiness. So, we can allow ourselves just for a second to take a deep step into real Kabbalah. Of course, if it's too deep for us, then let's hope that we can get over here. That's what we can Kabbalah's Kabbalah. Without patience, like God and stuff. Right. So then Kadosh says, that what is the secret? In general, why did this have to happen? Enough, one miracle. There's got to be a reason behind this. The miracle was that she didn't have a child, she couldn't give birth, her husband was too old. Finished. No, miracle was performed where he prayed for her, and she gave birth. And the miracle was an obvious one. He told her exactly, this day you'll give birth. He went directly on that day to his son. Now, that was a miracle. After all, we know that there are certain powers that no person can ever perform, that no angel can ever perform. Two of those powers are, one is life itself, to bring life into the world. That's one of the three keys that Hashem possesses. The second one is bringing the person back to life. So here, this act was performed, bringing life into this world. Isn't that enough of a miracle? Why did it have to go through this process of double miracle? First, then the child should die, and then go through the process of creativity, the first one. Why this double one? Well, like the Lord says, because in this miracle, a miracle, of course, you could perform. But if this person, this woman, is fated, she could not have children, period. There's no way for her to have a child. Now, how do you produce a child in a case where fate, meaning her life was such where she couldn't bring forth a child? So if she was going to have a child now, this child has to be not a real one. In other words, a child that could really live. A child is very temporary. Could live, and would have to die. This child couldn't be one that could continue to exist. So where does this item of death come from? Death or negative lack of life. The Shemana has no life to it. When you find things like death, it's working. You find a case like that also, like Yitzchak Adina. Why did Yitzchak have to be sacrificed? He didn't have any life. His Mishnah was Mishnah of darkness. Remember when we spoke about the American force of giving life to King David? It's true. God gave 70 years, but it really came from Abraham gave 5 years. Yaakov gave 28 years. I think they said 33 years, 37 years. Total of 70 years. The question was, why couldn't Yitzchak give years? Aharon gave years, Yaakov gave years, why couldn't Yitzchak give years? The answer is he had no years. He had no realizing the Shema wasn't the Shema of life. Of course he was born without the Shema of life. If he wanted to get life, he had to go through death first and come back again. He had to go through the sacrifice, and the Shema went up to heaven, and he returned again, different, filled with life coming from what? From the two of creativity before it's very again. Now here too, what causes that? What causes that? You know, the Shema comes regularly, comes from posek. Good, light, kindness, and posek. The opposite of posek in heaven is duty, harshness, judgment. And this includes darkness, and it includes death. Death means absence of life. So the Shema comes from there. That's called Dima Kiruv. Posek Kiruv. The word chesed is also called Gidula. Chesed is Gidula, Gid is Gidula, and you have Edit, Nitzachot, you say it in Sla every day. Vayivadech Yod Hashem, V'Melachah Hashem HaGidula, V'Ha'Gidula, V'Tiferet, V'Nitzachot, Yichol B'Shmayim Alach. Yichol is Yisur Tzadik, which is V'Chol B'Shmayim Alach. This Gidula, lack of life, when it comes to people as is by life. And therefore, Chavruta. Of course, came to this, why we call Chavruta. We had to have these two parts of the miracle. The word Chavruta itself it. You have to have this doula creativity too. That's why you had to go through this double process. Be born, but the born can only be born in Yeshiva that's absent from hasn't got the real life to it. And then to receive a new type, new life in the Yeshua, not together make them, which of course means borrowing, taking from the future life of together make them, to do it, to use later on to bring it back to life, taking from the future, giving life to this Yeshua. That's why it is called Chavruta. This is what it reveals, number one, that this child, which initially brought to life, was Chavruta and Ali, which we can never even feel in this, the connection between the two. This was Chavruta and Ali. And Chavruta standing does it twice, Choveket, and Chavruta is taught twice, once at the time of birth, miracle, and the second time after the kid by the Yerushalmi. And all because Chavruta went to Yehudah. Yehudah or Yehudah. The word Yehudah, fear, Yehudah, both the same numerical value, which means new. That's why he had no life. This was the reason for the second one. Why? That's what these are the references for. Why did not the staff listen that he was sending through the staff of life? Because there was something missing in Yaakov. He wasn't a reliable student. As long as the word was, right, this quote he mentioned, don't talk to anybody. He told him, don't say a word to anybody. Yaakov couldn't contain himself. How can he be running with a stick? And not the folks, people stop him waiting, running. How can they tell what he can have? Well, I'm going. Miracle, he had to make it. He couldn't hold himself in. Once he said it, it wasn't anymore. Once that was publicized, the rest couldn't take effect. Therefore, he said, he ain't going himself. He really gave him a chance. He was a good student. He gave him a chance to become the next leader. Just like when he became a leader after the other, because he was next in line. If you're a good student, loyal, and you should be a good student, then you'll have the power later on of being taken over. But Yaakov showed himself before a number of items, many more cases later, where he failed, and that was his undoing. That's why he had to come as an accommodated to know that he shared himself. This was the next miracle performed by Yerushalmi. No. Next case was there was a hunger, famine, and during his famine a lot of famines, one following the other. The famine of the land, and he had all his students. The prophets were with him. They said to his servant, go cook up a big pot of food for the students. But what do you cook? There's nothing growing. You're not in the field. He found certain kind of herb plant. A big growing on a vine. He gathered these little things, little herbs to the vine, sort of wildlife. He picked it, food out of it. He came back and he put it in the pot and he cooked it. He gave a plate each one to eat. Each one ate it, and at the end they said, we're dying. This is poison. A lot of herbs that grow that have poison. And they brought up the Yerushalmi. He said to them, that's quite all right. Give me some little flour. They took the flour, cheap type of flour that's in the family. Took a little flour, put it into the pot, and he said, now this little vat of flour cured the pot from poison. And of course was no miracle. At this point, again, by the way, the article says that the story of Rabbi Yossi, one of the students of Arizal, his son, they once going along in the mountains near the spot, and they saw a man picking flowers, herbs put to the side. They stood there watching him, and they said, this man, fool, he doesn't even stop to look at us. Say hello, Yerushalmi. After all, Yossi was famous, one of the biggest rabbis in the world. They didn't just know, they were defeated, they were in awe. There's a Jew standing there picking flowers without even showing respect, say, esteemed shalom. They waited, they watched him, and then the man, after a man, stood up, and he said to Rabbi Yossi, I just picked something for you. Because I saw on your face that you had just tasted some herbs here that are poisonous. You must die. I know herbs so perfectly. I know every single herb with that which is medicine, that which is an antidote. I have a herb which is an antidote for your sickness. Eat it and you'll be cured. Yossi tells us in his letter that he and his son ate this. He broke out a very heavy sweat. The poison came out from the pores. And they were cured. So then the man said to Yossi, you realize that every single herb, there are millions of species of herbs. Every herb has a purpose in this world. Every single herb. If people would know the powers that are contained in these herbs, you could have a cure for every sickness on earth. You could have every sickness, and even those that are considered completely incurable. There are these herbs that can cure it. And there are herbs that can do things which medical science never dreamed of. Let's say, what that means? That will rejuvenate a person, bring it back to his youth, take out the wrinkles in a person, and so on. Miracles are done with these herbs. People don't know them, and therefore they're ignorant to them. Menachem says that's the problem with doctors. We know that herbs can cure, but doctors don't know what each herb can do. And they don't know what side effects a herb can bring about too. They put together compound ingredients, medicines, and they give the kind of herb which is not good for that sickness. And that's why the result, doctors do much more harm than good. There are much more deaths caused by doctors on earth than lives saved. Much more sickness comes through doctors' treatment than cures. Because they don't know enough about it, then they have that. And see the doctors are so great, they consider themselves experts. That's why the U.S. says the best doctor, not the other, the best ones even go to get, because of their conceit, because they maintain themselves as pathologists. This man, when Yossi the son met with the tzadik, and he said, I know the herbs, and I know them very well, and I would never teach, I never impart my knowledge to other people. So I said, I would do that. People would stop praying to Hashem. The person would get sick. He would pick the right herb for himself. What does he have to pray for? He has a cure for whatever he wants, whatever he needs. He said, let me show you a sample of the powers that are contained in these herbs. I have a problem at home. I have a living room, and each corner of my living room has a hole in the wall. There's a round stone that's used for grinding, a millstone that's used for grinding wheat. Now, through that hole in the millstone, there's a hole going further into the wall into a tunnel. And this tunnel goes very deep. How deep does it go? Through the entire earth, out where? To China? Deep at that. This tunnel goes way out into the fifth dimension. I have a problem because I'm being attacked by somebody from the fifth dimension. Very strange type of creature. There's one way to combat it. Come and I'll show you. But whatever you see, don't move, and don't scream, and don't be afraid. Just stay still and watch. Yossi said that he and his son were petrified of his words and just stood and watched. They saw this man pick up special herbs, took it with him, and came to a cave. He waited there. And then a giant-sized snake, a serpent, came out. He put this herb, he sprinkled on the snake's head, and the snake became tame. He put a rope around the snake's, near the head of the snake, and he led the snake like he was leading a tame dog, a pet. The snake went along with him. There was a long serpent, big power like a python. He went along with this man, and Yossi and his son followed, and they came to his house. Then they came inside. He said, the living room is sort of darkness. There's no light there. You just make out the haze, shadows. You can see through the shape. You can see in the corner there was this round stove like a wheel with spokes in it. The center of that wheel had a hole, and you couldn't see how far down it was, but it looked like a cavity that you can't see the end of it. Then he said he waited. And he then told him again, remember, whatever you see, don't budge. Don't move. Don't be afraid. Don't cry out. Be brave. Stood there waiting very anxiously. And then he saw coming through this hole a creature, a man. The man was strange because this man had two heads instead of one. Then he came out with intent to attack. Then this man that we came with picked up the herbs, took the snake, took the rope off, and sicked the snake on this creature. The snake attacked the man, and he started wrestling. The snake winding itself around this man. A powerful wrestle went on, and finally, eventually, Yossi said he was ready to run out. He saw this. This man took hold of such straight foot, don't move. They wrestled till this creature cried out, "Oh, this is me that I fell into this trap. I came here, but I could be released from where I was, coming here, and I fell into a person who knows how to get me out." The snake and the creature battled until both of them fell into this hole and they disappeared. So then said to Rabbi Yossi, "You see, this is all due to the power of this herb. I placed the herb on the snake, and this snake was very powerful. It could trap this man, and now we are freed from this terror." And Zohar Kadosh said, "Who is this man?" He was a man with two heads. Where do you find a man with two heads? What is the fifth dimension? Zohar Kadosh says there is a place. It's not on this world. It's not on this earth. It's a different place. And it's not, as we say, Mars, a planet living people from Mars. It's a different section, not on this earth, not on this universe, not on this planet. Different section of time. But also creation. This man was human. There were humans there with two heads, three heads, 5, 6, 7 heads each. They do not possess the intelligence of men. Mostly is them having radios there to contact us. That's no question about it. They're not intelligent. But they are dangerous. And therefore, this man had to visit to this person from this different dimension. And because of the knowledge of the herbs, he was able to destroy it. However, is there any possibility of these men, that other dimension, coming to visit us anymore? Very good, says definitely not. As this happens only once, twice, we just happened once in a time with Shulchan Aruch. Anybody pulled that story? Mm-hmm. Anybody out inside you? Okay. Stories of Shulchan Aruch. Two heads.
First have to hear about a calf.
Yeah, like. No, I have a variation. Right, to feel the calf, a man will get it. Then I'll ask the question about what if a person has a son is born, first born son, you have to give $5 to the clinic to get it in. What if the son is born with two heads? They asked Primo, maybe the rabbi had Primo, Primo asked Rabbi Nachman's question. Someone with two heads, you have to give $10 to the clinic for him? Menachem Mendel said to him, "I'm putting you in prison because you're making fun of Christ." Asking a question like that. I'm going to put you in prison, that's what he said. Just that moment, somebody came aside and said, "Somebody was born with two heads." You're lucky. We just said it. First of all, it says, "Oh, we haven't got this case in this world." The only time we had it was the time of Amrama, when there was a son, or when a man had a son with two heads, and the question was, this creature with two heads, is that one person or two people? Two heads was two different people. They couldn't tell. It didn't matter much until the father died. They had different sons also. It came to dividing the wealth, the inheritance. And so the two heads said, I get two parts. There are 5 sons, divided 6 ways. And there's 4 sons besides me, I'm 2 people. I get 2/6, 1/3. The other brother said, no son, you're one person. I'm not going to do any stuff to you. I will go to Shulchan. He's the wisest judge in the world. He'll be able to decide this. The king he went, he said, I'll tell you right now, he's one person, 2 people. Very simple. It's okay. A blanket, put it over the head, over one head. And now let's see. Put a pail of hot water and pour it on top of the other head. And they wanted a blanket guy to scream. And what are you screaming about? Put it on the other head. Same. It's the same person. More than one man, one vote. He was one man with 2 heads, but this man came from the other dimension, where there was no connection to them. However, the final point is that this was mentioned in the Torah Kadosh, and one of the rabbis there heard this. There's a different dimension, and there are people there with 2 heads. And he said, don't believe that. Hard to believe. Torah Kadosh says that the next day he went on a trip by boat, and down very far out, suddenly a storm broke out, the boat sank. Fell deep into the water, and shot deeply into the water. Tremendous speed. Everyone was going, he kept on going. And so he came out in a different place, Arizal, in a whirlwind. And then he saw, looked around, he saw people. People had 2 heads, 3 heads. They're sewing in the back. Couldn't believe his eyes. And he saw with his own eyes. This was the dimension where these people lived. And then the miracle happened that he was put himself, sucked back to this earth. Came back to the yeshiva, he sat down to write. And as he learned, he was kept students and they got. Other students walked in and out of the double said to him, what are you crying about? This book was so jumped up. What are you crying about? He said, I'm crying because I'm afraid of what's in store for me in heaven. What's going to happen to me in heaven by me then when I come there? And they're going to say, you what? You doubted? Skeptical, you heard the words that you hear the words of Rabbi Nachman. You said that there are people with 2 heads. Doubt it? You dare to doubt their words? I'm afraid of that you'll have to give a bad judgment. And he was a big predictor. Of course, much of his crying, his tears, was Teshuva. The other says, different case. And then I go back to that certain case. When Rabbi Yochanan said to his students, there will come a day when the Beit HaMikdash will be rebuilt. The gates of Yerushalmi will be rebuilt. These gates are going to have big doors, openings and windows. And these gates will be made of tiles, gold, so fine, so precious, more expensive than diamonds. Especially full of diamonds. So this will be 100 feet tall. One of the students burst out laughing and he said, in this whole world, there isn't enough pies to fill up a hand. You're going to have this kind of this size, 100 feet tall, made of pies. Next day, the student went out on a ship, and he came to the middle of the sea. He saw angels floating around there. And Richard going up to the sea. He asked them what they were doing. He said, look, they're drawing up a layer of ice. And they're preparing this for the building of the gates of Yerushalmi. The students saw this. came back to Yeshiva, came to Rabbi Yochanan, he said that Yochanan, Rabbi said, go ahead, continue to teach because your teaching is beautiful. What you said is true, I saw with my own eyes. Yochanan said, you fool, you wouldn't have seen, you wouldn't have believed, you mock the words of the rabbi. Looked at him, and he fell into disintegrated into a pile of bones. Of course he was not believing. This is the point of how a person must be faithful to that second. Surely Arizal gives us all information about this other dimension we have in creatures, and how vital it is to believe. Yossi said, we must believe, even though we don't see, we don't understand it. These powers that Hashem created, we see these powers in humans. We see the powers in animals, elephants, lions, they're powerful. We don't see these powers in flowers, in herbs, little pieces of grass. We don't see it, but in these herbs, in this grass, there is more power than in the animal or human. So the little drop of this herb, the drop is poisonous, it's killed. The drop is so powerful, so potent, as an antidote, it can cure a person from the worst type of disease. Not one single blade of grass, not one type of flower, not one single herb is created in vain without a purpose, without something special for it. This was the case where the Shannon said, you see if this herb you pick is one that's poison. They pick because you don't know what the herbs are. But here, despite the fact that this is nature, no formation of creation is this way, our tzadik is so great, take a bit of flour which has no power at all, as a medicine cure, but the tzadik put the flour into this pot of poison, the whole thing becomes cured completely. This was the next miracle of the Yerushalmi. One of the miracles was where he came to, again he was with the students, and somebody came from this town. He brought with him 20 loaves of bread. Elisha was sitting and teaching 100 students. He came with 20 loaves of bread. He said, I bring this as a gift. Give to your students what to eat. So Elisha and these servants said, how can I give this for 100 people? 100 people to take 20 little loaves of bread. There's nothing there for them. It wasn't 20, it wasn't actually loaves. It was little loaves. Very small little piece of bread. There's no meal here for them. And he said, not the amount that you see. The blessing that goes into it. Hashem, in the name of Hashem, I say, give it to these 100 people. They're going to eat. They're going to become full. They're going to leave over yet plenty. Gave it to them, they ate, became full. Savata, that chavruta is savata, they have to eat, become full, and to finish, become full. Just as Hashem said through Yerushalmi. This was the next miracle of Yerushalmi, showing again a series of miracles he performed as a loyal student of the Aharon. Now, still here we have miracles of Yerushalmi because of his greatness. What was his greatness? Nothing to that he learned, and anything else, the fact that he served the Aharon. He served it. Next story comes to the case, contrary case. Yerushalmi had the student definitely could have become as great to taking over, but he erred, made a mistake. Very, very costly mistake. I would go deeper in this. That story is going to answer our very first question we started off with. How could the blessing come true that you should become twice as great as any other league? This story is the next question. Now, let's get back tonight as the final question.
The woman had a house in her place that was able to have
Wasn't there an orgy? This thing was a habit of dancing. There was some